France and the UN World Food Programme launched today an innovative plan through the European Food and Agriculture Resilience Mission initiative to support countries worst hit by the global food crisis by boosting sustainable agriculture production and ensuring that the most vulnerable countries have equitable access to supplies of agricultural commodities at a fair price. The world faces a global food crisis of unprecedented proportions, with 345 million people in 82 countries facing worsening food insecurity. The ripple effects of the war in Ukraine have compounded conflict, climate shocks, and the economic impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, and led vulnerable families around the world battling starvation and worsening malnutrition. The Farm Initiative focuses on facilitating trade and transparency on agriculture markets, strengthening sustainably local production, and working in solidarity with the private sector to match food surpluses with the countries most in need. France and World Food Programme are committed to addressing today's acute food crisis, with the crucial support of the private sector through the Farm Solidarity Mechanism as part of the efforts of the UN Global Crisis Response Group. This initiative will help countries mitigate the threat of market failures and escalating agricultural prices by working with all stakeholders, especially the private sector, to stabilize food prices. World Food Programme will use its transport network and logistics expertise to make sure fragile imported-dependent countries have access to key commodities at reasonable prices for the goods and transport. Crucially, this will allow World Food Programme to deliver more impact through its emergency food and cash assistance, while simultaneously building longer-term resilience of national food systems and reducing dependency on concentrated food markets. Yemenis are heading towards starvation, and the country suffers from a severe shortage of food supplies and basic services. 80% of Yemenis need urgent and necessary humanitarian assistance in order to survive. The United Nations World Food Programme is the world's largest humanitarian organization, saving lives in emergencies and using food assistance to build a pathway to peace, stability, and prosperity for people recovering from conflict, disasters, and the impact of climate change.